Well, good evening and welcome to Loyola Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and Vals. And here with the Valkyries to take on the Loyola Breakers here from Missoula, Montana. In earlier action, it was the freshmen losing 3-0 in volleyball action. The JV just completed, and they won 3-0 as well. And glad to have you here. It's James LaFontaine, once again, the voice of the Vikes and Vals. 406-270-7384. Let me know you're listening out there. And I had a pre-game interview with the coach. I'll play part of that now. Pre-game brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. And let's bring that to what I talked to Ariel Stalneck before the ball game. And this is what she had to say. A little technical difficulties, but here we go. Well, good evening and welcome to Missoula, Montana, Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. This is James LaFontaine, the pregame show with the head coach of the Bigfork Valkyries volleyball team, Ariel Stalneck, and their first, I would say, regular season match. They played in a tournament last week in Shoto. Let's talk about this season's team and how you guys showed up in Shoto and what you need to work on before we talk about tonight's match.
All right, so our team this year is still young. We're still a young team. We do have about 4 seniors, but they're all pretty new to our varsity, to playing varsity. But I'm not worried about that in the least bit. They almost went undefeated. They lost 1 game last year as a JV combined, and basically just the way this year panned out, we basically just moved them on up. And I last year could have put them in as a varsity team, so this year I'm even more excited because I'm really seeing a lot of growth in them. We played in a Shoto tournament this last weekend. We were missing 2 seniors, and at one point we had a middle down, so we were missing both our middles and a libero. But we still showed out, did really well. Our younger girls who were just starting to get some varsity time really got to work some stuff out, and it was a great way for us to get ourselves warmed up and ready for the season.
So I understand you guys took on Manhattan, who was like the #1 team last year, right? Really good. And you showed. Tell me what you guys did against them.
We just played with more heart than I've seen us play with. Sometimes we lack a little bit of fire under our, And so something that was really great that we did is I just told the girls that we started coming back in the second match, and I said, you guys are playing great, and the most that you guys can do is leave your heart out on that court. I know we haven't even gotten into season, but I need to see what you guys can show me that you can do this season. And they showed up, and they played with a lot of heart. And sometimes we get a little bit of fire under them, sometimes we don't. It's like a hit or miss type of thing. And I think that showed them that with that kind of fire underneath them, they can beat teams with 3 girls over 6 foot that they're terrified of, Manhattan Christian was a great game. They have a lot of talent, and we just out-hearted them in the end.
Well, that is good to hear. So going in, you got to take on Loyola Breakers, Western B foe. You've played them many times over the year, and talk about that matchup today. They lost a lot from the last year's team. Natalie Clevenger, the only name that I recognize coming back for them.
Yeah, they lost their setter, Katie McHugh. They lost a middle, Lainey Denning, yep. They've lost it. Yep, they lost a couple girls. And so, but we also, if you look at our lineup, you would see like 2 returning players. And so you might look at us and say, oh my gosh, they lost all their girls. Well, as awesome as our girls were last year, we filled those open spots with great competitors. And so in the seasons past, I feel like we were starting somewhere where we had a lot of room to grow, and I feel like we are starting at a higher level than we were in the past, which is great. All I hope is that the girls come out and play hard today.
Yeah, you lost a big one. She changed sports on you, Madison Chapius, but good for her. Go play soccer. I mean, this soccer team's really doing well, but now you got to feel into that. Boyd, how do you fill that in, and who takes her place?
Actually, we have some young girls. Zoe Alberts played for us in our tournament last year when Madison was ill and not able, or she was just quarantined. She was quarantined and not able to play, and Zoe did a great job. And we've put Zoe in a great position the last 2 years to grow and learn what it feels like to be on a team that is undefeated and that wins a lot. And so that is a great mentality bringing onto our varsity. And it's a really good opportunity because we also lost Miranda Gray. She did transfer schools and she's not playing volleyball anymore because of a knee injury. So we lost both of our outsides actually. And I couldn't be happier to fill them with Izzy and Zoe, because Izzy is only a sophomore and that girl has so much power behind her. She's impressive to watch. They all are.
Well, Izzy reminds me of her older sister so much. Abby, who plays at MSU Northern. I mean, when she came to us out of Chinook. I'm going to cut out the thing, and I'll give you the rest of that interview I had with Coach Ariel Stalnack before the game. Yeah, tonight's match getting ready. Starting lineups brought to you by the Bigfork Harvest Foods for all your grocery needs, and includes an amazing bakery, deli, lots of stuff at Bigfork Harvest Food. Marcus Spalgos and the gang at Bigfork Harvest Food. And the starting lineups, first of all, at libero, for Haley Camp, number 11. Is Ava Bellama, is the libero at 5'3", a sophomore. Then the captain, number 2, Natalie Clevenger, setter and outside hitter at 5'7", a senior. Outside hitter Kate Nelson Enemy, number 4 at 5'8", and a senior as well. Middle hitter, right side hitter, 5'8", sophomore Isabel Berry, wearing number 5. Outside hitter and right side hitter, 5'7", sophomore Ivy Bell, number 7. Right side hitter, outside hitter, 5'10", senior, number 9, Jamie Janeski. And rounding things out, the middle hitter at 6'1", senior, number 12, Haley Kemp, for head coach Shelby Clark, assisted by Jaya Banks and Paige Phillips. For the Valkyries today at libero, it'll be Tessa Troyer, a 5'4" sophomore, starting. And then I'll just go how they're reading on here. Alexis Sari, wearing number 9, a 5'7", middle blocker, senior. Wearing number 5, 5'7", opposite side hitter, junior, Ellie Jort. At 5'10", middle blocker, junior, number 1, Inga Turner. The setter, starting 5'5", junior, number 6, Jessa Newton. At 5'7", outside hitter, wearing number 8, junior, Zoe Albert. And rounding out the starting lineups, number 3, sophomore, 5'6", outside hitter, Isabella Ellison. Head coach Ariel Stalnack, assisted by Josh Filler and Roxanne Reed today. They're introducing all the lineups here and getting ready to go. I'll give you more of that interview as they finish doing the rest of the lineups here. Let me give you the rest of that interview I had with Ariel Stalnack. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties getting this thing going today, but hopefully you hear me out there. 406-270-7384. Text me. Let me know you have the Valkyries on. I could tell she's a volleyball player.
Yeah.
The same thing about her younger sister.
Yep.
And even at a younger age, last year, you could tell she has that IQ to play volleyball and play every position, and she can hit and block and serve and all that stuff. So that's exciting as well.
And the most exciting thing is that she's doing so great, and we just know we'll get 2 more years out of her. So it's actually really great, because as great as it would have been Miranda as a senior and how much we miss her and everything, she would have been a senior. And so we can put Izzy in this position as a sophomore, where we get this year, technically 3 more years, 3 full years of that girl playing great volleyball and only getting better. So that's just program-wise super exciting. Program-wise, just our entire team, it's exciting. I mean, we got Inga, who's still a junior, who this is technically her 3rd year showing up in a varsity match. She's played on her freshman year, and I finally think that Inga is in control of her skill. She has a lot of it, and she's finally in control of it. We've got the Sari twins, who are just awesome, and we're thankful to have them. When I gave them a spot on the team, they played volleyball in a couple years. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So it's great to see them. And then we've got returning setters. I got the same setters we had last year. Same
Mackenzie
setters.
And Callie.
Mackenzie and Jessa.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yep.
right, Jessa Newton.
Mackenzie and Jessa. So we have both them returning. We're doing the same thing with them, running them from the back row. The great thing is we do have a good amount of, you might not look at us and think we have a lot of height, but our front row will be pretty stacked. We got a lot of hitters. We brought Ellie Jort up as a hitter this year, and in our Shoto tournament, she proved that I made the right decision in putting her on a varsity team. We're still missing Callie. We'll really miss her. We've got Tessa Troyer filling in for her right now, and Tessa's only a sophomore and throwing her into her first varsity matches this weekend. It was tough on her, and she just kept going. So she's going to be one to watch too.
So tell me, what is the key to today against Loyola, especially in that first set?
Yeah, so I've been telling my girls that they have a couple different things that we are holding them accountable to. We want to be the first to 5 points. We want to beat them to 10, 15, 20, 25, take the set and everything. And also, we've had a lot of trouble with closing our matches. So if we have ball on game point, they're expected to finish game point. And then a lot of other things is just we need to play smart volleyball. We have this skill. Just sometimes we forget how to use that skill and we get a little cattywampus, but when we're on, we have some great volleyball to show all our spectators and everything. Our offense is pretty great. We're just working on our defense a lot of defense, but we're pretty big at the net. Inga Turner right there at the net, she's moving great side to side. Lexi Sari's a beast, so it'll be good, and we're setting up well around that. We are really going to miss Callie until we get her back. We won't have her back until we play in.
Well, sorry to cut that off. Ready to serve. Loyola's going to serve from the far side. And first serve in. Dug out there by Bigfork. Across in the back row. Dug out by the libero. And I have to get the names down. Hit out of bounds. Oh, what a dig there by Bigfork's Tessa Troyer. Get it over the net. And spiking it down is Loyola. Newton will set up Zoe Albert. Zoe Albert spikes it down. Dug out by Loyola. Gets it across. And Bigfork will be in the net. Looks like number 5, Zoe Albert. So the first point going to Loyola. And they'll serve again here early in the first of best of 5. Troyer digs it out. Over to Sari. Sari gets it over. Jort over across the way. Dug out by Loyola. It's hard to see the numbers here. Spike down, dug out there by Zoe or Ellie. Zoe Albert spikes it across. Saved by Loyola. And double hit by Loyola. And side out to the Valkyries. So I'll have to lure the numbers. Number 9, Alexis Sari serving for Bigfork now. Service across. Nice serve, dug out by Loyola. Spike down, blocked there, and knocked down, but it's Inga Turner along with number 8. That's Zoe Albert. And a block and a point for Valkyries, 2-1. And Sari serving again. Dug out. Spike down by Turner. And point number 3 as the Valkyries lead early, 3-1. On your UPS Store scoreboard. And that'll put Sari serving again. And continues a nice deep serve to the libero, dug out by Bellingham. Cross, spiked by, dug out by Newton. Over to Izzy. Spiked down there by Jort, number 5. And it drops on the Loyola side. And a quick 4-point run by the Valkyries, and Loyola will take a timeout, a 1-minute timeout. And James LaFontaine once again with you, 406-270-7384. And here in Loyola at the Loyola Sacred Heart High School Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center as the Valkyries varsity taking on the Loyola Breakers. Earlier action, freshmen took it on the chin a little bit. They lost 3-0 in the sets, but the JV played outstanding volleyball this afternoon and won 3-0. So we're back, and Sari will serve again. That's Alexis Sari, number 9, for the Valkyries. Service, deep in, dug out by the libero. Over Clevenger. Clevenger spiked down, dug out by Bigfork. Across, as Sari gets it across. Clevenger, the setter, spiked down there by 7. Iva Bell dug out by Bigfork back across the net. Clevenger tries to set it deep, and Newton can't quite get to it in the far right corner. And off her hand and out of bounds, side out, going to Loyola. Sorry, we'll go back out. Libero Troyer will come back in for Bigfork. And serving, looks like number 6 on the far side. Dug out. Inga. Jort will get it across. Set up. Clevenger. Left hand. On the line on the far side and good. A point 4-3, the Valkyries lead. Newton sets up Izzy. Izzy spikes it deep and out of bounds. And it'll be point. We're tied at 4. Service by Loyola into the net and no good. And that was number 6 for them, Emily Van Hoos. Serving. And it'll be side out to Bigfork. They lead 5-4. And coming in the game is number 10, Ariana Sari on the front line, replacing Jort. And Mackenzie Holt also in the match serving for the Valkyries. Deep serve off the hands of Janeska. And out of bounds, point for Bigfork. And 6-4, the Valkyries lead. Holt to serve again for Bigfork. Janeska digs it out. Clevenger spiked off the hands of Troyer and out of bounds and side out to Loyola. 6-5 the score. The Valkyries lead on the UPS Store scoreboard. And number 12, Haley Camp will serve for Loyola. She serves it deep, about a foot behind the end line, and out of bounds, side out to Bigfork. Spike, and they're going to call a double hit there on Holt, and side out the Clevenger serving for Loyola. Dug out by Troyer. Holt digging across. Ellison back, dug out. Holt going to set up and spike down and out of bounds by Sari. That's Ariana Sari over on the left side. And out of bounds point for Loyola to tie it at 7. Clevenger to serve again for the Breakers. Low serve dug out by Ellison. Over and knocked over by Sari. Drops it on the side of Loyola. And a point side out for Bigfork. They lead 8-7 on your Bigfork Dental scoreboard. Alexis Sari back in the front line with Turner. Holt digs it out. Gonna set up. Nice spike there by number 3 for Bigfork. That's Isabella Ellison in the front row. I think they're messing with me on. No, that's Izzy. Never mind. Troyer serves and serves it up the right side and out of bounds. 9-8, the Valkyries lead. So Holt, along with Ariana Sari and Alexis Sari in the front line. Troyer. Oh, nice spike there by Sari. Alexis Sari spikes it down the middle. Side out to Bigfork and a point and substitutions. Jort will come in for Holt. In for Ariana Sari. So Jort to serve. Check that. Newton to serve. Jort goes to the front line. Spike deep and out of bounds there by number 7 for Loyola. That's Ivy Bell. And a point for Bigfork. Nice one just in front of Libero Bellama. And a point for Bigfork, 13-8 here in the first set. And Loyola will use their second timeout. So 406-270-7384. Says I'm live out there. Hopefully people are listening. Just give me a text and let me know that you guys are catching the broadcast. I'd appreciate that. I'll get you the conclusion of that last bit of that interview in between the first and second set when I get time. But great to be here with you. First road match of the season. They played in Shoto, a little round-robin tournament last weekend. So we have the Valkyries in action today. We'll have the Valkyries in action again as they travel to Anaconda and Deer Lodge. That's coming up a week from Saturday, and we'll broadcast both of those matches here. Back to action, and Newton to serve with a 13-8 lead for the Valkyries here in the first set. Newton serve deep. Oh, dug out across the net. Jort. Troyer gets it back across and just drops. A little communication issue with Loyola. Drops in front of number 4. Adamy and Newton to serve again, 14-8. Newton serve deep. Bellama can't handle it, out of bounds, and point for Bigfork, 15-8. As Coach talked about, be the first to 5, first to 10, first to 15. The Valkyries are holding that right now, and Newton to serve again, up by 7, 15-8 in the first set. Newton serve, cross right down the middle. Bellama gets it, dug out by Loyola. Clevenger will get it back across. Troyer, Newton going to set up Ellison. Ellison spikes, and they say a tip. So it is Bigfork's point, as tipped by Loyola on the spike. Even though it went out of bounds, it is a point for Bigfork, and that should make it 16-8 on the scoreboard. And on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard, Newton serving right down the middle. Bellama, Clevenger getting to it. Janeska going to push it across. Dug out by Sari. Newton going to set up Sari. Sari spikes it down. Dug out by Clevenger. Janeska. And I can't see for Loyola. Newton setting up Ellison. Ellison spiked down the line. Dug out by Clevenger. Janeska crossed. Newton digs it out. Jort. Sari off the hands of Clevenger. And another point for Bigfork as they lead 17-8. And they're up by 9 here in the first set. First best of 5 here from Loyola. And Newton continued to serve. She's serving very well right down the middle. Brought out by number 4, Adamy. Across. Oh! Knocked down the middle by Loyola off the net. And right there, Troyer can't quite get to it and dig it out. Drops for a point inside out to Loyola. And that'll be Bellama to serve for the Breakers. Service. Dug out by Troyer. Off the hands and out of bounds. Off the end. And point for Loyola, 17-10. So Newton, Troyer, Ellison, Sari, Jort, and Alberts in for Bigfork. Newton tries to hit the ball across and knocks directly down there by number 12, Haley Camp, the 6'1" middle hitter. Blocked that one for a point for Loyola. Off of Troyer, out of bounds. And Bigfork will take the timeout as Loyola coming back a little bit, within 5 at 17-12 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Hey, lots of things, the Montana Athletic Club. Weights and machines, cardio machines. They got gymnasium, basketball court, swimming pool, locker rooms. You can sign up and get guest passes early if you want to get back into shape. Contact Doug and Nancy Mantle at the Montana Athletic Club and get yourself going. Lots of stuff over there. A couple years ago, the Mesa Functional Training Area donated and dedicated to Saia Mesa, former coach and trainer there at the Athletic Club, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and we missed that guy tremendously. We're back in action in Loyola to serve. Bellama. The libero. Dug out. Newton, set her up. Janeska digs it out. Oh, right there. And a nice spike on Janeska for Loyola, sets it up. And right there is Ellison to put it down for the Valkyries, and a side out and a point at 18-12. And just as she spikes it down, she's serving now. Deep serve by Ellison, and just misses the end line, and a side out to Loyola, 18-13. And Janeska will serve. So rotation error on Bigfork. And a point for Loyola on that. Janeska to serve again. Deep. Dug out by Troyer. Newton. Sets up Alberts. Alberts dinks it across. Natalie Clevenger. And Camp tries to hit it, but hits it into the net for Loyola. And a point side out for Bigfork at 19-14. And it needed that as Inga Turner comes back in the lineup with Jort and Alberts up front. Newton, Ellison, and Sari in the back. Sari to serve. Nice deep serve. Dug out. Clevenger. Well, tries to get across to number 7, Ivy Bell. Hits it short of the net, and point for Bigfork, 20-14. Alexis Sari to serve again. Service on the way. Nice deep serve. Bellama digs it, hits it in the crowd. They can't quite dig it out. As Bell hits it back in. Janeska hits it sideways. And another point for Bigfork. They're up by 7, 21-14 in the first set. Sorry, serving. Deep serve, and hits it just past the end line. And she'll go out of the match. And that'll bring Troyer, the libero, back in for the Valkyries with here in the first set. And the Valkyries leading 21-15. Loyola serving. Deep. Right in there. Miscommunication there between Alberts and Ellison, an ace for number 6. Van Hoos, Emily Van Hoos, serving again for Loyola. Troyer digs it out. Newton spikes it down. Jort, Inga Turner hits it deep. And out of play, point for Loyola. As Albert's attempt was blocked but dug out by Bigfork. Another serve deep. And that one's out. Over the head of Ellison as she wisely lets it go. It'll be side out for Bigfork as they lead 22-17. 3 more to take the first set. And Mackenzie Holt will come in along with Ariana Sari. And Holt to serve. Nice serve, deep. Hit deep and out by Bellama for Loyola. Trying to keep up with the names. And 23-17, Holt to serve again for the Valkyries. Deep. Dug out. See Holt, spike down, dug out by Troyer. Holt going to serve up Alberts. Alberts spiking, block. Holt, sorry. Gets it over, Turner gets it across. Dug out, they can't, Loyola can't quite dig it out. That's going to be a carry there by number 4, Adamy. And game point, or set point. First set point for the Valkyries. Holt to serve. Deep, dug out by Janeska. Clevenger. Knocks it down, the senior for Loyola, and a side out. Still game point for the Valkyries. Number 5, Berry back in for Loyola. Deep serve, dug out by Troyer. Alberts. Holt gets it across. Dug out by Clevenger. Trying to get it across is Loyola. Mackenzie Holt. Troyer. Zoe Albert gets it across. Janeska. Clevenger. Spike down. Blocked! And blocked by Clevenger as Alberts goes up. and spikes it down, but she gets blocked by Clevenger, and it drops in on the Bigfork side, and a point for Loyola, 24-19. Deep serve. Troyer digs it out. Holt, back serve. In the corner. Nice shot there by number 8. That's Zoe Alberts. A very smart move. They left the right corner open, and she drops it in. And the first set, best of 5, goes to the Valkyries. Here from Loyola Sacred Heart. Here's the rest of that interview I had with head coach Ariel Stalneck.
In Anaconda Deer Lodge next weekend. So we'll definitely be missing that, but we're going to take today is what today is. We have Tess out there. She's doing great. This is a great experience for her. Knowing that I have somebody to fill Callie's shoes after she leaves next year, it's the weight off your shoulders, you know.
That's tough. Yeah, you got to play with what got you here. Mm-hmm. We really appreciate the years that you've put in so far as the head coach, and now we have Josh Fellard with the JV, and now we have
Roxanne
Reed, which used to be Roxanne Thurman, as the freshman coach. So I'm looking forward to today's match and broadcasting that and see how things go. It's always fun to watch you guys play, and we'll broadcast also. Anaconda Deer Lodge will have broadcasting as well a week from Saturday. So, Coach, thanks for joining me on the pregame show, and good luck and go Vals.
Thank you, LaFontaine. Thank you.
All right, that was head coach Ariel Stalneck of the Bigfork Valkyries. And again, today's match against Loyola, a Western B foe. And the Valkyries came out strong, as Coach talked about in the pregame. They have a little goal, first to 5, first to 10, first to 15, first to 20, and first to 25. They got it done right there in the first set and closed that one out. And they got to continue to do that. They're playing well, moving, and different players really stepping up this year. So it's going to be an exciting year of Valkyrie volleyball. Don't forget, they'll be at home. Their first home match coming up on Thursday. They take on the Florence Lady Falcons. Gets underway with freshmen at 4, 5:30 JV, and about 7 o'clock we'll have the varsity match at home. And then coming up broadcasting, if you're looking for football, Friday night, we travel to Cutbank to take on the Cutbank Wolves. Kickoff 7 o'clock. Pregame at 6:45. Will be next on BFST events here on YouTube. The Howlett's listening out there. I'm glad somebody can hear. I just want to make sure it's getting out there, even though it says live. I had a few technical issues, but got those taken care of so we can be on the air. And the Valkyries take the first set and lead 1-0, or 1-0, I should say. Congratulations also to soccer. The girls took care of. And service on the way. We'll get into action. Sorry to serve for Bigfork. First service into the net. And she'll get replaced there by Troyer. So Ellison, Alberts, Troyer, Jort, Newton, and Turner in the front row for the Valkyries. And serving, number 6. Dugout. Newton's going to grab it. Cross Troyer. Dug out there by Camp. Clevenger sets up Camp. Spikes it off the hand of Newton. And point 2-0 for Loyola. And serving is number 6, Emily Van Hoos. Also Janeski. Bellingham. Camp. Clevenger. And number 4, Adamy in the match. Service off the left side and out of bounds, side out to Bigfork, 2-1. Holton McKenzie. Holton will come in to serve, and Ariana Sari as well. Holton serve on the way. Dug out by Loyola. And off the hands as Alberts knocks it off Clevenger. And it'll be Bigfork point. And Holton will serve again. It should be 2-2 on the scoreboard. They haven't put that second point up. Janeska digs it out. 6. Across. Clevenger gets it across. Drops it in front of Troyer. Scoreboard should say 3-2. They haven't got that second point up for Bigfork yet. Now they do. Serve deep. That was going out, but Troyer tries to hit it, and point for Loyola, 4-2 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. Serving is Camp, gets it across. Turner spikes it down. Clevenger digs it out. Back across, dug out by Ellison. Holton setting up Zoe Alberts, blocked off the hands of Loyola. It'll be side out and point for Bigfork. Yeah, we're 4-3 on your Bigfork Dental scoreboard. And Alberts back deep to serve for the Valkyries. Service deep. Cross, Clevenger. Dug out by Troyer. Holton, back set. Sorry, on the line. Almost dug out. Dug out by Clevenger. Across. Holton, going to set it up. Ellison, dug out. Nice save there by Zoe Alberts. And across court is Ellison. Dug out by Loyola. Clevenger brings it across. Alberts, Holton, back set. Inga Turner knocks it straight down. Holton brings it back up. And right there, number 4, Adamy blocks it straight down on the Bigfork side. And a 5-3 Loyola lead as Clevenger will serve for the Breakers. Bigfork as they trail deep. Janeska hits it. Clevenger gets it across and hit out of bounds by Adamy. And Bigfork ties it up at 5 here in the second set. And Troyer to continue to serve. Sawyer twins up front. Back set, Clevenger. Duck out. Sorry, right down the middle. And drops as Bellama can't quite dig it out and drops on the Loyola side. Valkyries another point. They take the lead 6-5. And Troyer to continue to serve. Down the line, Janeska. Clevenger setting up Janeska. Spikes it. Off the hands of Zoe Alberts and out of bounds. It'll be point for Loyola and side out. Tied at 6. Ivy Bell back in for Loyola. Janeska, Ivy Bell. Barry. Clevenger. Bellama. And Janeska. Dug out. Holton going to set up. Zoe Alberts spikes it right off the hands of Clevenger. Nice spike there. And a point for Bigfork. And side out 7-6. Newton will come back in. And same thing with the Jort, replacing Adriana Sari and Mackenzie Holton. And serving is Newton for the Valkyries. Deep serve. Duck out by Bellama. Adama. Bellama gets it across. Newton going to set up. Says Bigfork was in the net. And side out to Loyola. And a point tied at 7. Adama. Going to serve for Loyola. Substitution, I think, issue. And number 5, Barry has to come back in for Loyola. And serving is Adama. Deep serve, dug up by Bellama. Newton sets up. Ellison hits it across. Dug out by Alberts on the spike by Loyola. Oh, right down the line and drops it in is Isabella or Izzy Ellison. And an 8-7 lead. On a nice spike and a nice setup by Newton. And talking with the sideline there. So 8-7 Bigfork leads. And it looks like Izzy to serve. So Newton, Ellison, Troyer, I got Jort, Alberts, and Alexis Sari on the court for Bigfork. It looks like some rotation issues maybe with Loyola. And they're fixing that. That might have cost him, let's see, that might cost him a point. We'll see right here. 8-7, the Valkyries lead in the second set. They won the first on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard here from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here in Missoula, Montana. As the officials get with the sideline and get this correct. So they got to fix the scoreboard. I'll tell you what it's going to be in here in a minute. They made an announcement because of rotation issue with Loyola in volleyball. You can't, on the serve, you have to stay in position you're supposed to be, and if you violate that, you know, it can cost you a point. So they're straightening that out over there. Loyola seemed to be in the incorrect spot for each other, or the incorrect person in as well. So they're straightening that out, and then they'll update the scoreboard. I'll see what that's going to be after they take care of that here momentarily. They said they're going to take a point away, yep, and give one to Bigfork. So Loyola goes to 6, back to 7. Now they change it back to 6, and then they should give that point to Bigfork. So would be 9-6, I believe, if they're going to fix that right now. So they take a point off the board for Loyola. So I'm trying to explain that here. If you know volleyball, the rotation, you have to rotate in the correct way. And see what they update for. Showing 8-6 right now. The Valkyries lead in set number 2, and they have the service. And that'll be Isabella or Izzy Ellison going to serve for the Valkyries. So it's showing 8-6. Bigfork serving. Ellison, and we'll continue the second set here. Ellison serve. Oh, nice serve. Dug out. Clevenger. Janeska. Back corner. Newton. Jort sets up. And missing the spike is Sari into the net. And it'll be point side out to Loyola. Janeska will serve for the Breakers here as they trail 8-7 on your Harvest Food scoreboard. Service. Newton off her hand, should have let it go, let the back row handle it. Yeah, she's in the front row, and it tied at 8 now. Daneska to serve again. Here on the near side, across the Bigfork. Dug out by Troyer. Newton sets up Sari. Sari drops it across. Dug out by Loyola. Clevenger back across by Loyola. Up. Sari gets it back across. Daneska. Clevenger going to set up and spike off the hands. And Loyola was in the net. That's Camp on the spike and side out as she was in the net. And it'll be Bigfork volleyball. Turner comes back in. Sari to serve. Sari's serve is deep past the end line and side out to Loyola as Troyer comes back in for the Valkyries for Sari. And we're tied at 9. Van Hoos will serve for the Breakers here in the second set. Deep serve. Zoe Alberts. Newton sets up Alberts. Alberts cross court. Dug out by Loyola. Daneska. Camp cross. Newton's going to set up Turner. Turner block. Dug out by Jort. Newton. Again, Turner. Dug out by Bellama. Clevenger setting up Camp. And Camp hits it in the net for Loyola. And a point for Bigfork. Side out, 10-9, the Valkyries lead. Ariana Sari comes in for Newton, and Holton will come in for Jort, and Holton will be serving for the Valkyries. 10-9, Bigfork. Nice deep serve. Janeska digs it out of the middle. Clevenger going to set up Camp. Camp blocked there by Turner, but it falls on the Bigfork side as the two meet in the middle. And we're tied at 10, and Camp will serve. Camp. Back across, right at the middle, return there by Turner, and drops it in the middle for a point inside out to Bigfork. And that'll bring Bellama back in for Loyola. And serving is Zoe Alberts on the far side. Deep serve, dug out. Turner picks it up. Holton setting up Turner. Turner spiking down. And knocked it off Janeska. It would have been Bigfork's point anyway, but Loyola was into the net. And 12-10, the Valkyries lead here in the second set. Zoe Alberts to serve, deep. Clevenger, Janeska, dug out by Holton. Turner, gotta get it across, just drops it across. Clevenger, dug out by Troyer. Holton, cross court goes Ellison, just hits it out of bounds. And side out point for Loyola as Bigfork leads 12-11 here in set number 2. And Clevenger to serve. Loyola deep. Troyer, Holton, setting up Turner. Turner just a bit deep on her spike cross court. And we're tied at 12. And Clevenger for Loyola to serve. Holton going to set up Ellison. Ellison spikes it down, nails it just like her sister does. Cross court in for a point and side out to Bigfork. And the Valkyries lead 13-12. And Troyer serving for the Valkyries. Troyer's service deep off the hands of number 6 Van Hoos. Off the back wall, and a point for Bigfork. And they lead 14-12. And Troyer to continue to serve for the Valkyries. Nice deep serve. This time Van Hoos handles it. Clevenger trying to set up. And spiked down there by number 4, Adamy, and couldn't tell. For a moment, it was good on the far side as she hits it cross court, side out, point for Loyola. And Adamy will serve for the Breakers. Dug out, Holton cross, drops it across, dug out by Loyola. Holton, dug out. Troyer, cross court, Ellis, Brianna Sari, and Mackenzie Holton, and Newton will get the serve for Bigfork. Deep, drops it across. Clevenger trying to set up Janeska. Janeska hits it back. Dug out. Newton sets up. And hits it just deep. And side out to Loyola. So this game going back and forth all the way. And 15-14, the Valkyries lead. The Bellama to serve. Dug out by the opposite libero. Troyer out of bounds and a point for Loyola. We're tied at 15. Valkyries need to side out. 15-15 on UPS Store scoreboard. Bellama. Dug out. Newton. Gonna drop in as Ellison hits it off the block, and it drops on the Loyola side. Point and side out to Bigfork. 16-15 here in set number 2. Ellison to serve. Deep. Knocks it down. Clevenger going to back set to Janeska, and they're going to call her for 2 hits. And a double hit on Loyola Another point for Bigfork, 17-15. Nice service there by Ellison. Dug out by Janeska, brings it across. Troyer, Newton, and spiked down. Dug out by Clevenger. Janeska, cross, dug out by Bigfork. Back across the way, Bellama. Janeska's going to spike it down. Newton digs it out of the corner. Short. Sorry, deep. Oh, quite can't handle it. Bellama can't handle it in the backcourt. Falls and drops in on Loyola's side at 18-15 as the Valkyries take a 3-point lead. 18-15 on your Bigfork Dental scoreboard. It's a big match for the Valkyries early. They did a good job over there in Shoto, as Coach talked about on the pregame show. James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes and the Vals here. First on-radio thing for me this year. Got to get back in the swing of things with volleyball. And we'll have football coming up on Friday night as the Vikings travel to Cutbank in their opening game. They had the first week bye, so they will play 8 straight weeks, and the first game is on the road as they take on the Wolves of Cutbank. Valkyries in action at home on Thursday as they take on the Lady Falcons of Florence. Freshmen get away at 4, followed by JV at 5:30, 7 o'clock about for varsity. And we're back here ready for the service from Ellison as the Valkyries lead by 3, 18-15 in set number 2. Serves it across off the hands of Adamy, and point for Bigfork, 19-15. Well, first to 5, first to 10, first to 15, and first to 20. Trying to do it right here, as Coach talked about in the pregame. Nice service. Dug out by Bellama. Clevenger. Janeska's going to have to get it across. Dug out. Newton. Oh, cross court. Newton. Excuse me. Dug out by Newton to Bellama. Sorry, gets it back across to Bellama. Sorry. Dug out by Troyer. Newton's going to set up and dropping it across. A nice shot there by Alberts down the line. And Coach talked about her, letting her step up. She drops it over the block and in front of Janeska for a point. And 20-15, the Valkyries lead by 5. Deep serve by Ellison. Dug out by Bellama. Clevenger to Janeska. Middle. Sorry. Newton back set. Short with the spike. Dug out by Loyola. Janeska gets it across. Newton. Oh, nice spike there by Alexis Sorry in the middle. Spikes it down, and Clevenger can't quite handle it. And 21-15, the Valkyries lead. Ellison to serve again. Serves it deep. Oh, getting it across is Camp. Back set. Spiking it down is Jort. Dug out by Loyola. Up. Newton trying to set it. Sorry. Just drops it across. Oh, and Jort can't quite reach it off of her fingertips and goes out of bounds. Side out to Loyola. 21-16, and Janeska will serve. Some good volleyball action going on here in the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. Janeska to serve for Loyola as they trail by 5, 21-16. Janeska, deep. Troyer digs it out. Newton. Short. Serves it back deep. Clevenger trying to set up Loyola. Dug out by Alberts. Drops it in the middle. Nice job there by Sorry. Alexis Sorry, smart move, just drops it in the middle where no breaker was. And a point side out for Bigfork, 22-16. Inga Turner going in for the barrel. Nice serve. Couldn't quite. I think that was Martin's. No, she's on the end. number 7 for Bigfork. A last minute ad, so I'm not sure who that was for the Valkyries. But she came in and served it well. Side out to Loyola, 22-18, and a point for the Breakers. 6, serve it, dug out. Newton, back set. Zoe Alberts drops it. Smart move. Janeska's playing back, drops it over the front line, inside the line, and drops it in for a point, and a side out 23-18, a 5-point lead for the Valkyries. And Holton will come in to serve for Bigfork to try to close out the set. McKenzie, service on the way. Janeska. Blocked there by Inga Turner on the spike attempt by Camp off of Clevenger. Drops on the Loyola side, and game point here in game number 2. And Holton to serve. Serves it deep. Janeska. Clevenger going to set up. Hits it back deep. Dug out by Troyer. Holton. Inga Turner's going to get it across. Adamy. Block there. Dug out by Turner. Holton going to give it to Turner. Turner going to block it. Digs it out. There's Turner. And they call a lift on Turner. 24-19. Side. Clevenger digs it out. Janeska. Dug out by Loyola. Setting up Turner. Turner spikes it out. Dug out. Clevenger. Troyer. Spiking it down. Dug out by Loyola. Clevenger trying to set back. Adamy gets it across. But Holton. Cross. Spiking it down is Zoe Alberts for game number 2. And the Valkyries lead 2-0. 25-19 on that on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. So 25-18 the first one, 25-19 here in the second. And one more can wrap this one up. Valkyries playing well. Let Loyola back in a little bit, but Bigfork able to stem the tide, if you will, take the momentum back and lead. I'll be back here momentarily from Loyola. This is James LaFontaine, the voice of the Vikes of the Vals, as the Valkyries lead 2-0 at the Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center in volleyball action against the Loyola Breakers. It's side out and point for Bigfork. And Troyer will serve. That'll bring Ariana Sari, Alexa Sari back in the match, along with Ariana. And Ellison, spike down, dug out by Troyer. Holton going to set up Ellison. Ellison spike. Deep, out of bounds. Loyola saves it. Sari brings it up. Spiking it deep and out of bounds is Ariana Sari on the far right side, side out, and a point for Loyola. So Ariana, Mackenzie Holton, Alexis Sari, Zoe Alberts, Izzy Ellison, and Tessa Troyer for Bigfork. Served by Loyola. Dug out by Alberts. Mackenzie Holton going to set up Ellison. Ellison blocked. Dug out by Sari. And Ariana hits it deep. Dug out. Mackenzie Holton off the block. The spike by Adamy, and off the block of Bigfork, out of bounds. It'll be point for Loyola as they lead 2-1 early in the third set. And back serving, I believe, is number 6, Van Hoos for Loyola. Serves it deep. Ellison, Holton, sorry, blocked. Calling 4 hits on Bigfork, 3-1, a point to Loyola. And Van Hoosen will serve again for the Breakers. Ellison digs it out. Kenzie Holton, Ellison digs it out, sorry. The block, Janeska digs it out. Clevenger, cross-court set, dug out by Holton. Alberts, sorry gets it across to close. Blocked by Bigfork on the spike attempt by Camp. And sorry with the block off of Loyola, out of bounds, and side out point for Bigfork. Newton and Jort come back in for Bigfork, and Newton to serve for the Valkyries, trailing 2-3. Newton, nice serve off Janeska. Clevenger trying to set up Adamy. Newton back sets all the way. Bellany digs it out. Clevenger, Adamy spikes it down through the block. And a point, side out for Loyola as they now lead 4-2 here in set number 3. Service. Ellison, Newton, cross, gets it. And they can't quite get it across. Communication issues there in the middle with Bigfork. And 5-2. So Loyola gets to 5 first here. And in the net, Camp serves it in the net. And a side out to Bigfork as they trail by 2, 3-5. On the Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Serving is Ellison. Nice serve. Janeska digs it out. Clevenger blocked. She digs it out. Sorry gets it back across. Clevenger trying to drop it in the middle. Dug out. Nicely there by Troyer across, and Loyola can't handle it. And a point for Bigfork. And they trail by 1, 4-5. And Ellison serving from the far left side for the Valkyries. Puts it deep. Janeska can't quite get it across. Off the hand of Van Hoos and Janeska. And the Valkyries tie it up at 5. Ellison to serve. Oh, just drops it across. Dug out by Ellison. And side court can't quite get it across is Zoe Alberts. Falls on the Bigfork side. On the far right side, a tough angle for Zoe to try to keep it inbound. Loyola, they lead 6-5. And service is Clevenger. Clevenger serves it. Troyer. Newton, back set. Off the hands of Bellama on the spike. By Alexis, sorry. And we're tied at 6 in substitution. Inga Turner will come back in. And I got the number 7 is Ava Davey, a freshman in the match for Bigfork, doing the serving. Nice serve right down the middle. Dug out by Loyola. Clevenger. Janeska looking to drop it across. Dug out. And they call a carry or a lift by Bigfork. Alexis Sari back in for Davey, and then the Troyer, the libero, comes in for Sari. So serving is Loyola. Adamy. Zoe Alberts setting it up. Cross by Jort. Corner, Clevenger looking to spike. spikes it out of bounds. Number 7, Ivy Bell. And Ariana Sari and Holton will come in. Holton to serve for the Valkyries. They're tied at 7. Drops it across. Nice, Clevenger. Bellama, dug out by Troyer. Kenzie Holton back setting. Ingrid Turner gets it across. Janeska. Clevenger. Janeska's going to have to get across. Dug out by Turner. Mackenzie Holton looking to set up Turner. Turner spikes it down. And just misses the sideline. Does Inga Turner. And side out. Is Becca back and drops in the far right corner for a point by Janeska. And the Breakers lead 9-7 on UPS Stores scoreboard. And Bellamy to serve. Dug out by Troyer. Holton back setting. Sorry. Check that. Albert spikes across. Dug out by Clevenger. Holton setting up Alberts. Alberts gets it across. Dug out by Bellamy. Clevenger looking to set up. Sets up. Number 7, Ivy Bell just finds the end line on the Bigfork side. And a 10-7 lead for the Breakers. We played at 25. Dug out. Zoe Alberts. Holton gets it across. Dug out by Ellison. And Holton's going to get called for the carry or the lift. And Bigfork will take a timeout as they trail 11-7 here in the third set on the UPS Stores scoreboard. Also mentioning the Flathead Lake Lodge, I think they're going to be a sponsor as well. I'll talk to that Dax Van Fossen. I'll give him a shout out anyway here. Loyola. All the Valkyries trying to close it out here as they lead 2-0 and trail by 4 here in the third set. Ball's just falling in here and there for Loyola. And Bigfork will have an opportunity. Well, Bellamy will serve, and we're back with action here. The libero for Loyola serving. Serves it deep. Dug out by Troyer. And she hits it out of bounds. Over to the net. Official and 12-7. And Bellamy, so dug out by Ellison. Turner hits it back deep. Bellamy, Adley Clevenger setting up. Dug out by Holton. Turner. And knocked down by Camp. And 13-7. Valkyries a little out of sorts here in the third set as they take the first two and trail in this one. 13-7, but plenty of time as we go to 25. Bellamy just need to get a side out, dug out by Troyer. And Holton can't quite get to it as it heads towards the stands. And 14-7 as they double up. And Alexis Sari will come in for Troyer. Dug out by Ellison, Turner, Holton. We're going to call a carry or a lift on Bigfork. And 15-7 Loyola leads. Need to get his side out. Into the net is sorry. Holton can't dig it out. 16-7. And Troyer will come back in. Digs it out. Holton. Back set. Alberts down the baseline. Dug out by Bellamy. Janeska will get it across. Turner sets Holton back to Turner. Turner. And a point for Loyola, 17-7. So the Valkyries trail by 10. And need to get a side out here. Bellama continuing to serve. Dug out by Alberts. Holton. Turner. Blocked, but out of bounds. There's the side out they needed. And Bigfork with the point and side out. (8-17), and Zoe Alberts to serve for the Valkyries. Nice serve, gets it in. Janeska digs it out. Clevenger looking to set up. Cross dug out by Ellison. Holton setting up Ellison. Ellison looking to spike. Spikes it in the net is Izzy. This times her jump just a little bit, 18-8. The Breakers lead, and Janeska to serve for Loyola. Serves it, dug out by. Right into the net by Troyer, and Holton can't get it to set it up. And right there is Camp to knock it down. And timeout taken by Bigfork. On UPS Store scoreboard, they trailed 19-8 in the third set. They took the first two and trail in the third. I'll be back with more here from Loyola, Montana. The Valkyries taking on the Breakers. Okay, we're back here, in Missoula, Montana, Loyola. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center. And Janeska to serve for Loyola, up 19-8 in the third set. The best of five. And Janeska to serve. Holton digs it out. Ellison back deep. Ellison by Adamy. Spiked in by Ivy Bell. And 20-8. They trail by 12. Janeska to serve. Ellison trying to save the miss hit by Troyer. It goes out of bounds. And point for Loyola, 21-8. And sorry will come in, and that'll bring in Ava Davey in the middle for Bigfork, the freshman. Sets it right to her. Ball's going to find her. Nice spike there. Dug out by Davey. Shifting Alberts. Clevenger setting it. Off the spike and Turner, and drops in by Bell. And 22-8. Maybe they're saving it for the fourth. Down by 14. Serves it deep. Alberts digs it out. Mackenzie Holton. Davey spikes it, hits it long. But not a bad hit there for the freshman. Get her some experience here. 23-8, Janeska to serve here in set number 3. Serves it. Davey. Holton. Turner spikes it down, dug out by Bellama. Mackenzie. Dug out by Davey. Holton sets up Ellison. Drops it across. And drops it in. Down the end line, and a point side out for Bigfork. 9-23. Bigfork has 9, and Loyola has 23. And so Bigfork getting the substitutions correct. As Ellison and the Sorry Twins up front. Holton's service by Troyer. Nice ace service. Loyola can't handle it. And a point for Bigfork. 10-23. Holton in the backcourt with, or the back line, I should say, in volleyball with Alberts. And Troyer serving. Nice serve. Bellama. Clevenger gets it across. Bellama dug out by Alberts. Holton's going to get it across for Bigfork. Dug out by Loyola. Adama. Clevenger. So, Janeska gets it across. Troyer set up. Ellison spikes it. Janeska. Clevenger. Sets up. Dug out by Troyer, but Sorry can't handle it, and side out to Loyola. They lead 24-10. And Van Hoos will come in replacing Bell, and Van Hoos will serve. Deep, dug out by Alberts. Holton setting up Alberts in the back. And she hits it long. And game point for Loyola as they win this one 25-10. And we'll go to the fourth set. And I'll be back here with set number 4 as the Valkyries lead 2-1 from Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here in Missoula, Montana, as the Valkyries are taking on the Loyola Breakers in volleyball action. All right, welcome back to Loyola. Valkyries lead 2-1. And Janeska, Barry, Adamy, Clevenger, Kemp, and Bell to start. And the libero, Bellama for Loyola. Mackenzie Holton to serve on the far side. It looks like Ava Davies starting as well with Ellison, the Sorry Twins, and Turner for Bigfork. First service by Holton. Bellama. Got Holton, going to set up and drop and get across. Court dug out. Deep. Sorry. Davy. Back corner. Nice try there by Inga Turner on the attempt. Blocked by Turner and a point for Bigfork. Lead 1-0. Holton will serve for the Valkyries. Holton, deep in the middle. Dug out by Clevenger. Puts it across. Off the hands of Adamy, and another point for Bigfork as it sails out of bounds deep. And Holton to continue to serve for Bigfork. So a better start here to the fourth game, and Holt serving deep. Bellama digs it out. Clevenger. Across is Adama. Dug out. Holton drops it across. And right there, can't find it is Bell. Is dug out by Adama, but Bell can't find it as she spins around the drops in for a Bigfork point 3-0. So Holton continue to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. Janeska. Adama. Clevenger will get it across. Dug out by Ellison. Holton going to set up. And hitting it out of bounds is Turner. As he tries to go cut the sideline. And just hits that side out to Loyola. 3-1, the Valkyries lead on your Bigfork Harvest Foods scoreboard. And that'll bring in Van Hoos to serve for Loyola. Serves it deep. Sorry. Holton. Turner drops it across the front line and right in for a point. And side out for Bigfork, 4-1. Nice job there. That time by Turner. Drops it in. So up front is Ellison, Adriana, and Turner. And serving is Zoe Alberts. Alberts, Van Hoos, Clevenger. Dug out there by, and nice job there by the freshman Davy. Digs it out. Clevenger. Again, Davy brings it out. Holton. Ellison trying to drop it across. Can't quite get it. And she had him beat down the line. But Davy made a couple nice, real nice saves for Bigfork. And they lead 4-2 side out. And Camp will serve for Loyola. Serves. Dug out by Alberts. Holton. Spike there. And off of Camp. And a point for Bigfork, side out 5-2. So first to 5 this time is the Valkyries. And Davy will come out. Alexis Sari will come in. And serving is Troyer. Serves it deep. Dug out by Loyola. Ellison. Holton going to set up Ellison. Ellison spikes it down. Oh, and just long is Izzy Ellison with that spike. Didn't miss it by much on the end line. And side out point to Loyola as Clevenger will serve. Clevenger dug out for Holton. Across. Troyer. Knocked down. Janeska digs it out. Clevenger. Across is Adama. Dug out by Troyer. Holton. Spike down. Bellama digs it out. Holton. Adama. Spikes it. Dug out by Troyer. Holton. Gets it across. Bigfork. Dug out by Bellama. Holton. Going to set up. Oh. And Holton can't quite get it across on the set by Sari. And 5-4 point for Loyola as Clevenger will continue. Valkyries lead by 1. Clevenger. Right down the middle, splits Zoe Albert and Troyer and tied at 5. Clevenger with a nice overhand serve. Drops it in. This time brought out by Alberts. Holton. And dropping it across. They said Bigfork was in the net. And Clevenger continue to serve. Dug about by Alberts. Holton, back serve. And drops it down on the line is Ariana Sari. And Newton will come in for Sari. Jort will come in for Holton. And Newton to serve as we're tied at 6. Here in set number 4, 2-1. Bigfork leads in sets And Newton to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. Dug out. Oh, spiking it down is Alexis Sari. And a point for Bigfork, 7-6. And that'll bring number 7, Bell, back in for Loyola. And Newton to serve. Newton, deep serve. Bell. Taneska. Dug out by Newton. Getting it across is Jort. Taneska. Over to Adama. Dug out by Zoe Alberts. Newton setting up. Ellison. Ellison spikes it across. Clevenger. Get it across. Bigfork saves it. Nice job. Newton digs it out. Jort gonna set up. Sorry. Spikes it down. Alexis Sorry from the middle. 8-6. Bigfork with a point. Nice volleyball action. Going. Hits it off the side of her hand. And point for Bigfork. And Van Hoos will come in for Bell for Loyola. And the Valkyries lead 9-6 here in the fourth. Newton, deep serve. And Van Hoosen wisely pulls that in her hands just over her head and out of bounds. Side out to Loyola, and a point for the Breakers. And Adama to serve as Bell comes back in. Hits the net and drops over. Not much Bigfork can do when hits that net and just dies. 8-9. Second serve on the way. Dropping it is Adami. We're tied at 9. She's serving it short. Gonna do it again. Right off of Alexis Sari in the front row. And Loyola takes the lead 10-9 here. Bigfork first to 5, Loyola first to 10. And Bigfork needs to rally here. Don't want to go to the fifth set. Want to get things done here in the first. And Coach Dahlnuck takes a timeout, trying to get them back organized and rally how they're playing in the first two sets. They won 25-18 and 25-19. So, and lost the third set 10-25. So we'll stay right here as the Valkyries won the first two sets, lost the third, and trailing by 1 here in the fourth. So Jort, along with Alexis Sari, Zoe Alberts, Troyer, Ellison, and Newton for the Valkyries. Serving as number 4, Adami for Loyola. Serves it deep. Dug out Newton. Back deep, Bellama. Clevenger. And spiked down by Barry. And a point for Loyola. And Adami will continue to serve for Loyola. 2-point lead. Dug out by Troyer. Newton. Spiked there by Bigfork. As Zoe Albert digs it out, but Loyola knocks it down. Number 7, Bell, spikes it in for Loyola. 12-9 on the scoreboard. The UPS Store scoreboard. Service by Adami. Newton gonna set up. Spikes it right down. Right there, Alexis Sari. Bigfork needed that one. And perfectly set up by Newton. And number 3, Izzy Ellison to serve for the Valkyries. Serves it deep. Bellama. Clevenger. Blocked is a spike by Bell. And they're going to call double hit on Loyola. And a point for Bigfork. They're within 1 at 12-11. Ellison to serve again. Serves it deep. Bellama. Clevenger, Janeska, dug out by Sari. Newton, back set. Jort deep. Bellama, Clevenger trying to set up. Back deep, dug out by Newton. Jort, Ellison, cross court, dug out by Adama. Janeska, across. Dug out by Sari. Newton going to set up. Zoe Alberts, dug out by Bellama. Clevenger going to try to set up Bell. Dug out by Zoe Alberts. Clevenger. Nice dig. Oh, Bigfork coming up with Zoe Alberts, gets it across. Nice save by Jort. Janeska off the block of Sari. And a point inside out to Loyola. And a nice little rally there. Nice job by both teams. They up by 2, and that put Bellama back to serve the libero for Loyola. Dug out. Oh, spiking it into the net is Bell. And a point side out to Bigfork. This one's going to go back and forth, I feel, all the way. So that'll bring in Ava Davey to serve for Bigfork. Service on the way, drops it. Nice serve. Bellman digs it out. Clevenger trying to get it to Janeska. Janeska hits it right in the net. So a point for Bigfork. So a big serve there by Davey, the freshman, for the Valkyries. And she'll get another. We're tied at 13. Here comes Davey. Service deep. Bellama gets it. Clevenger looking to back set up. Oh, off the set. Bellama. Clevenger back. Newton digs it out. Short, far side. Zoe Albert puts it into the net. And a point side out to Loyola. Couldn't quite get it over the net. And Janeska to serve. Dug out by Ellison. Zoe Alberts gets it across. Zoe Alberts, There, dug out there by Ellison. Newton. Turner back in the corner. Janeska. Dug out. Ellison. Jort will get it across. Janeski. Clevenger off the block of Turner on a spike by Kemp. Drops on the Bigfork side, 15-13. The Valkyries trail by 2. And Janeski will serve for Loyola. Putting it back over is Bigfork. Janeski gives it back. Bell. And Zoe Alberts will get it across. Clevenger trying to set up and blocked by Turner on the spike by Camp, but drops on the Bigfork side. Can't quite get the clean block. And the Valkyries trail by 3, 16-13. Janeski to serve again for Loyola. Dug out by Ellison. Newton puts it way deep. Bellama trying to set up. Dug out. Spiked down there by Bell in the middle, and Newton can't quite come up with it. Drops on the Bigfork side. And they trail by 4, 17-13. So plenty of time left in this 4th set, but Loyola, as momentums go, sometimes things change. And the momentum on Loyola's side right now. 406-270-7384. If you're listening out there, you can give me a text. I know the Howlets are listening. Little Neil Diamond action. Sweet Caroline being sung here. So 17-13, Loyola leads in the 4th. 2-1 in sets by Bigfork on the Bigfork Dental scoreboard here. So we need a side out right here for the Valkyries as they trail by 4. Janetsky continues to serve for Loyola. And Bigfork trying to find it back. Dug out. Janetsky. Cross. Clevenger. Set up. Dug out by Newton. Backcourt Bellama. Clevenger. Going to set up. Dug out by Sari. Davey. Sorry gets it, or excuse me, Jort gets it across. Clevenger, spike. He calls it in. Camp spikes it. Says it drops in the end line. Can't tell from here, but 18-13 Loyola leads. Janetsky, dug out by Davey. Turner gets it back across to Bellama. Kenzie. Camp. Nice job by Bigfork getting it back across. Off the back wall as Ellison spikes it off Bellama. And out of bounds. It'll be Bigfork basketball inside out. And a point within 4 at 14-18. Holton will come in to serve for the Valkyries, along with Ariana Sari, Turner, and Lexa Sari up front. Service, dug out by Ellison. Camp hits it on the end line where nobody was for Bigfork, and a point inside out, 19-14. Bigfork's got to get it done right here. Van Hoos to serve for Loyola. Need a side out. Dug out by Davey. Across. Clevenger. Davey. Holton. Turner. Yeah. Off the hand of Bellama. And a point for Bigfork inside out. They needed that one there. Nice spike there by Turner. 15-19. Maybe go on some points right here, and Zoe Alberts to serve. Nice serve, Janeski, excuse me. Adamy, dug out by Ellison. Holton, Bellama. A little communication problem there with Ellison and Turner, and it drops on the Bigfork side. And a side out as they trail by 5, 15-20. And Camp to serve for Loyola. Ellison digs it out. Holton. And spiked out of bounds by Sari. Ariana Sari. And a point for Loyola. 15-21. Score. And Camp to serve. Dug out by Davey. Holton. Zoe Alberts hits it deep. Camp. Clevenger. Dug out by Davey. Holton. Looking to set up Turner. Too close to the net for Turner to do anything with that. And 22-15 on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard as Camp continues to serve for Loyola. Serves it deep. Zoe Alberts. Holton back serve. Spikes it down. Turner off the block. And it drops in for Bigfork. Side out. And down by 6, 16-22. And Troyer to serve as Alexis Sari comes back in for Bigfork. Nice deep serve. Janeski. Clevenger. Off the hands of the block by Sari. On the spike by Barry. Drops in on the Bigfork side, and a point for Loyola. Side out 23-16. And Clevenger to serve for the Breakers. Dug out by Davey. Holton. Spiked out of bounds by Troyer on the far side. And game point here for Loyola. Troyer, Kenzie Holton. Back deep. And hitting it deep is Bigfork. And game point is 25-16. Loyola takes that one. We'll head to a fifth. And we go to 15 in that. They'll have to do a coin flip, figure out which side, who's going to serve first. And we'll be back with the fifth and final set here from Loyola. Sister Rita Mudd Activity Center here in Missoula, Montana. All right, welcome back to Loyola. Loyola already on the court. Clevenger along with Adamy, Barry, Dineski, Bell, and Camp. And the libero is Bellama, so he'll probably come in. And we'll see who Bigfork puts out there. We're tied at 2, so fifth and final set. And this one goes to 15, the first to 15. So, like Coach Stolnick says, first to 5, first to 10, and then first to 15. Valkyries took the first 2 and then lost the last 2. So the momentum kind of shifted here in Missoula, Montana now. Valkyries got to be able to try to capture that back and finish this one off. They're battling well early in the season. Like Coach says, they're young. So, and some opportunity for some of the younger kids getting to play as well. So, a bright future for Bigfork Valkyrie Volleyball. So Zoe Alberts, Alexis Sari, Izzy Ellison, Ariana Sari, Ava Davey, and Mackenzie Holton to start the fifth and final set. Bigfork has the serve. Will serve on the near side, and Davey, the freshman, will get the service for the Valkyries. Get underway. Serve on the way. Nice serve down the line. And spiked down by Sari as the set return from Adamy right to the net, and Sari spikes it down. Early 1-0 lead, and Davey to serve again for Bigfork. Serves it down the line. Bellama digs it out. Cross dug out by Davey. Holton gonna set up Sari. Clevenger. Block of Clevenger. The spike there by Ellison, and out of bounds, and Bigfork will get another point. 2-0 early, and Davey to serve again. Davey dug out. Back to Davey by Clevenger. Holton going to set up Ellison. Ellison. And side out as Ellison's spike goes out of bounds. And Van Hoos will come in to serve for Loyola, trailing 2-1. Van Hoos going to be deep. Out of bounds. Close one to take in. Smart play there by Ellison. Side out to Bigfork, and they lead 3-1. That'll be Newton and Jort back in. And Newton to serve for the Valkyries. Up 3-1. Newton serve, drops it in. Dineski. And nice knocking it down is Sari as Dineski sets her up perfectly. And timeout taken by Loyola as they trail 4-1. We go to 15 in the fifth set, and the Valkyries lead 4-1 on your Montana Athletic Club scoreboard. Well, just a reminder that once again the Valkyries will be at home. Their first home action of the season comes up on Thursday. They host the Lady Falcons of Florence High School. Gets underway at 4 o'clock with freshmen, followed by JV. They call it freshman C team, Junior varsity will be about 5:30 to about 7 o'clock for the varsity action coming up on Thursday at home. So Newton to serve, leading 4-1 is Bigfork. Nice serve down the middle, Janeski. Bellama. Clevenger gets it across, Davey. Newton back set. Jort drops it across. Clevenger trying to set up. Spike dug out by Davey. Newton sets up Sari. Sari can't quite get the spike down. Into the net is Alexis Sari. And, side out point for Loyola. And Camp to serve for Loyola. Valkyries doubling up 4-2. Deep. Davey. Newton drops it across. Janeski, who had come in, and Newton, a smart play in the far right-hand corner. And the Valkyries side out up 5-2. And Ellison to serve for Bigfork. Drops it down. Clevenger. Loyola into the net. Is number 4, Adamy. And a point for Bigfork, 6-2. Ellison. Nice serve by Janetsky, digs it out. Clevenger. Gotta get it across to Loyola. Davey. Newton. Look at the setup. Off the spike. Drops. Nice spike by Zoe Alberts. Off the spike of Loyola. Clevenger. And drops for a 7-2 Bigfork lead here in the 5th and final set. Well, I talked about Mr. Momentum. Well, Mr. Momentum seems to be on the Valkyries side right now. And Loyola trying to slow that down with their second timeout already here in the 5th and final set. They go to 15, Bigfork leading 7-2. On UPS Store Bigfork scoreboard. And Ellison continuing to serve and doing a nice job for the Valkyries. The freshman, Davey, playing a nice job, doing a nice job, along with Newton in the backcourt and Ellison, and Zoe Alberts, Jort, and Alexis Sari up front for the Valkyries here in the 5th set currently. And Ellison to serve with a 7-2 5-point lead for Bigfork. They can stretch and get this one to 10. As coach says, service on the way, deep. And Ellison just serves it deep. Got that lead, got to get that ball in. 7-3 side out. Clevenger to serve for Loyola. Davey. Newton. Davey. Spikes it out of bounds off the right side, and a point for Loyola. 7-4 Bigfork. Clevenger to serve again. Davey to dig it out. Back set. And out of bounds. Yeah, the line judges aren't even paying attention to tips, so not going to get that call. Bigfork thought they had somebody touching it. Service off Zoe's hands, and 6-7. Bigfork leads 7-6 as Clevenger continues to serve. They thought that spike might have gone off a Loyola player, but no call. They didn't get the call there. And lead by 1. Davey. Newton. Zoe looking to drop it across. Dug out by Clevenger. Newton going to set up. We're tied at 7. So Valkyries give them 5 straight points. And momentum back on Loyola's side as Clevenger continues to serve for the Breakers. Davey. Ellison going to set up. Zoe Alberts drops it across. Janetsky. Back in the corner. Clevenger hits in the right corner where no Valkyrie was. And Bigfork will have to take a timeout as Loyola runs off 6 straight points and take an 8-7 lead. And the momentum here on the Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. 8-7 Loyola. You got to go to 15. And I believe you got to win by 2. So Valkyries need to get his side out here quickly. Missed a couple spikes and opportunities to increase the lead. And now got to get the side out and so get the serve back and have an opportunity. They got to slow down Clevenger right here. Davey, Newton, Ellison hits it out of bounds. And a 9-7 Loyola lead. Clevenger to serve. Deep. Davy digs it out. Into the net. Newton can't handle it. And 10-7. Coach talked about being able to close it out. And trail by 3. Still have an opportunity. Clevenger to serve. Davy digs it. And another timeout taken by Bigfork as they trail 11-7. And 9 straight points run off by the Breakers. They need a side out and have an opportunity here. Here in the 5th set. 2 apiece. Going to 15 here for the 5th. Early Western B action. Again, like Coach said, Bigfork's missing one of their key players. Won't be back until the Anaconda Deer Lodge match. Callie Martins, who's a key player and a starter for Bigfork. So you got to play with what you have. And Clevenger to serve, up by 4, 11-7. Davy, Newton, cross, Ellison deep, Bellama. Clevenger looking, set up, dug out by Newton, Jort. Blocks it, nice spike there by Sari, off of Clevenger, out of bounds, and Bigfork needed that one right there. A side out. So Inga Turner comes back in along with Troyer. Troyer to serve. Valkyries trail by 3, 8-11. Troyer service. Into the net. Learn just got to get that ball in and have an opportunity. He serves it right in the net and side out, a point for Loyola. And Bell will come back in for Loyola. Adams to serve. Troyer, Newton. Spike down, dug out by Loyola. Clevenger. And drops on the side of Loyola as Janetsky tried to set up the middle of the pack. So a point for Bigfork. Trail by 3. Holt serve. She comes back in along with Ariana Sari. And Holton trailing by 3, serving for Bigfork. Serves it deep. Adamy, Bellama. Janetsky has to get it across. Troyer. Holton going to set it up. Off the block, tipped right there. Clevenger digs it out. Troyer. Holton drops it. Nice play there by Zoe Alberts over the block of Janetsky up front. I believe that was Janetsky along with number 5, Barry. 10-12. Valkyries within 2. Holton, nice serve. Back. Dug down, knocked down. Dug out by Janetsky. Clevenger digs it out. Holton. Sorry. Inga Turner spikes it down. And falls on the Loyola side. And a point for Bigfork within 1 at 11-12. Holton continued to serve for the Valkyries. Oh, nice serve. Bellamy. A nice serve. Bellamy knocks it out of bounds. Janetsky can't handle it. And out of bounds. We're tied at 12, so the Valkyries battle back as they trailed. And Mackenzie Holton to serve. Nice serve. Clevenger. Spike down. Dug out by Holton. Sets it up. Drops it across. And nice play by Zoe Alberts. Clevenger along with Janetsky can't handle it. The Valkyries up 13-12 now. And Holton continue to serve an exciting 5th set here. Holton deep to Bellamy. Clevenger knocks it out of bounds. And 14-12, game point for the Valkyries. So the Valkyries have got the momentum on their side, and Holton to serve for the match. Need to take care of business right here. Holton, nice serve. Hey, off the hands of number 5, Isabella Berry. And the Valkyries win this 15-12. and 3 sets to 2. And I'll bring out the post game. And try to get Coach Stalneck on the post-game show and one of the players. So stick around for post-game. Valkyries win this 3-2 over Loyola on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. I'll be back right with the post-game. Well, an exciting match here in Loyola as the Valkyries win their first 2 sets on your Bigfork Harvest Food scoreboard. They win the first 2 25-18, 25-19, then lose the third 25-10 and 25-16, but able to come back as they were down and take the 5th set 15-12. I'll get a chance to talk with head coach Ariel Stalneck coming up here on the post-game show. Brought to you by the Montana Athletic Club. And we'll get Ariel on first, the head coach. Tell me when you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear me better.
Yeah, I can.
That's how I like it.
Well, head coach Ariel Stalneck on the post-game show, brought to you by the Bigfork Harvest Foods and the Montana Athletic Club. Well, Coach, you guys came out really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Won the first 2 sets, and like you talked about, finishing, right? Kind of that third one, right? Third set, 25-10. Talk about that. I mean, great match. Way to come back. You know, when you're down 11-8 in the 5th, and that big spike. I said, you got to get a side out. Got to stop her serving.
Yeah.
And that was huge spike and momentum made it 11-8, and then you guys went on a run right there.
So in those last, in our 3rd and 4th set, and even some parts of our 5th set, we started to get a little too timid. We stopped hitting the ball. We were free balling balls. We stopped talking. We weren't diving as much. Our first 2 games are the kind of volleyball that will take us to state. Our last 2 won't. But that gave us a lot of stuff to work on. We've got to work on staying aggressive. And we kind of did lose a little fire under our butts, and that's just something that more of a heart deal. The girls have the skill. We just got to work on the heart.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, the first 2
But it showed
really
in the
came
end.
out. And the third, you know, just like you guys were flat. It seemed to me, not ready. You guys were taking, oh, yeah, we got this in the bag type of thing, right? But then the 5th set, you guys kept fighting. You took the lead, let them come back with 9 straight points.
We just wanted everybody to have fun.
But then you guys were able to close it out. Talk about I want to talk about a couple players, especially, but your freshmen coming in and stepping up in
Ava
a big
Davey.
way.
Yeah. So that was a last-minute decision to give her a jersey for the game. Like, last minute, like she'd already was getting dressed back into her clothes. And we just made the decision just to have a little bit of a backup. And we used it correctly. And I think she got the job done. She's she's making a name for herself.
Was watching her receiving the serve, did a
Yeah,
great
she made me
job,
look good as a coach.
and
Yeah,
she served
throwing a freshman
well.
in made me look good.
Yeah, but that's the future, to get that experience and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about who's your player of the game.
Lexi, sorry.
Yeah.
I brought Lexi up here because she's a senior, and this was actually her first game back, but she's such a big presence on our floor. And when we are winning, she's there. She's on the floor when we are winning. She did great. We're going to work on her serves just a little bit. But other than that, she did great, and we're happy to have her back. So
she had a really good match. So did Ellison.
Izzy Ellison, yeah. I mean,
Zoe Alberts made some. I like the ones which just.
It's smart volleyball.
Double block setup and just go
Yeah.
over the top and drop it.
It's smart volleyball. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
We have the skill. I tell the girls, when I'm in there and we're down, I tell them, you guys have the skill. It's the heart. I need to see the heart, because with the heart, the skill will come right out. And that's the exact same pep talk that we used when we played Manhattan and came back to beat them and everything like that. And so it's the exact same thing. And we gotta work on that, the want.
Well, huge win, and then coming up Thursday to take on Florence. But I say get ready to go. Don't leave without me. We'll get ready to head home and
start the bus, Bob.
But great job today, and way to not give up at the end and come back. Even though
I'm
the
so proud of these
the
girls.
momentum switched to Loyola. Even in the fifth set, you guys had it. They
Fully.
took it away, but then you guys took it back.
I told them 1 point at a time. We were down 8-12, and I said, we got the ball back, and we were 9-12, and I said, all right, all we need is 1 point. We got it, and I said 1 point at a time.
Yep.
And even if we would have had to win by 2, I believe that they would have done it, because at the end they showed their heart. So I knew we were going to win that game by the way they were playing.
7 straight points to finish it.
Yeah.
Because they were up 12-8, and you ran the 7.
Oh, yeah. I knew once I see the heart in them, I know we will win a volleyball game. The first set, second set, saw the heart. Third and fourth, there's not much you can coach except give them some pep talks and tell them that they got to die for volleyball.
They got to learn from that. So
yeah, and I think we did. And when we play Florence, I hope they're
ready for that.
I hope they're ready.
Exciting at home.
Yeah.
So great
home
atmosphere.
Game.
Well, thanks again for the post-game
Thank
show,
you.
Ariel, as always.
I'm going to go
I
get
like
that bus started and
I'll
go.
talk to Alexis a little
you
bit.
and Lexi can hitchhike home.
Oh, no, you're not going to leave without us. Well, I got Alexis Sari started the game for Bigfork. Talk about the match and your teammates and how you guys especially played in that first 2 sets. It seems like you guys were really clicking and playing really good volleyball.
I think we had a lot of heart in the first 2 games. We got a little ahead of ourselves in the 4th and 5th. We thought, hey, we're going to just go out and dominate them. But I do think that we were upbeat, cheering everybody on, and then that just went down in the 4th and 5th, and that's why our game went downhill as well. I think it all had to do with attitude in the first 2.
Third and fourth, you mean? But the 5th, because I like they came out strong, really strong in the 5th, took that big lead. They had to use up 2 timeouts really quickly, and then they went on that run. But talk about what you guys said in your huddle, because I know you guys talked to each other, hey, you're down, and they got 12 points, and you got 8, and they're heading for that victory. What do you guys say to each other at that time?
A lot of it is we talk about pepping each other up in the huddles. If someone makes a mistake, say, hey, it's all right, you got the next one. And not only do the other people have to pump that person up, but they need to pump themselves up. You can't just sit down and leave your head down. It doesn't help that way. It goes both ways in that.
You got to keep playing, as they say. But I thought the big key point when they were up and they were going to go, it was 11-7, and you made that great spike. Boom. Off the hand, boom, 11-8. Now you serve, right? It made it 9. Then they got 12, but then you got it back, and then you ran off the 7 straight points. I thought Mackenzie served really well. Ellison served really well. Even the freshman, Davey. Talk about that, the rest of your teammates and how they played today.
I think that in the first set, especially, we did a lot of good helping each other out when we didn't get that play over and going off, out of play balls. we figured that out really well in the first two. I do have to give props to Ava Davy. She played really well, and I know she was super nervous. She really stepped up, and I think our back row did really well too, and getting the pass up in those first two and the last one.
Jessa had some nice sets. Holt and McKenzie as well, setting you guys up, and even Inga had some nice spikes. Alberts, you, Ariana, I mean, you guys just, Ellison, you guys just play really good volleyball. I'm going to let you go so we can get on the bus and head home. But thank you for joining me on the post game, and great job. I'm looking forward to more of the same thing, the first two sets of volleyball coming up on Thursday at home against Florence. So thank you, Alexis. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, the Valkyries take this one 3-2. Take the first two, lose the second two, but come back and battle and win the fifth and final set. So the Valkyries win this one 3-2. We'll see you Thursday at home as Florence. Next broadcast will be the Vikings on the road against Cutbank on Friday night. And then coming up a week from Saturday, it will be the Valkyries on the road against the Anaconda Lady Copperheads, and the Deer Lodge Lady Wardens. Will have that broadcast for you here. This is James LaFontaine. Thank you for joining me here on BFSC Events on YouTube. Great to talk to you out there, bringing you the broadcast here of Bigfork Valkyries Volleyball. Thank you, and good night wherever you are.